Yo, what's good, everybody? What's good? We are back for another one. Y'all know the routine. Hit that like for me. Hit that subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Drop me a comment. Let me know who I'm talking to. When everybody's saying, well, if Keith Thurman wins that fight, naturally, PBC would want to set up an in-house fight between Thurman and Spence. My thing is this, though. I think you would actually get about the same amount of sales if you did a Jaron Ennis fight. But the thing that you get in return with a Ennis fight, that you don't get with a Thurman fight, is you introduce Ennis to a new crowd. You know, the crowd of people who know Spence pretty much know Thurman. The crowd of people who know Thurman pretty much know Spence. But Boots Ennis is a new guy on the scene. You know, I'm just now really coming to find out who he is. You know, Captain Fury was actually the first one to put me up on Boots Ennis. And why you think he shouldn't be the next fight? You know, I think the only problem with the Boots Ennis fight is he's not that popular yet. But I think, you know, you have to put these guys in there to make them popular. You have to put them in there with your best fighters and see what they got to make those guys, to make their names. I actually like that fight better than a Thurman-Spence fight. I would rather see Spence and Boots get it on than Spence and Thurman get it on. I just think Thurman's on the tail end of his career. I would rather see Crawford take on Thurman than Spence take on Thurman. That would be a better test for Crawford than it would be for Spence. I just think it would be a better fight. I'm not interested in Spence fighting Thurman really at all. I think, now I thought, you know, maybe Terence Crawford might be smart and would have said, you know what, I'll take the Boots fight. I'm independent. You know, he's an unknown guy, but I'll give him a chance. And that would have been, you know, we still might hear that from Crawford. You know, we don't know what he's going to do yet. But I think Ennis kind of wants that Spence fight. I think he's targeting that Spence fight more than he's targeting the Crawford fight. And I'm going to play a video here for y'all that I found earlier where he spoke about that exact scenario. And I just think it's more competitive of a fight for Spence and Ennis to get it on. I just don't see the Crawford, personally, I don't see the Crawford until after the Spence fight, and we probably find out what Crawford's going to do, because we probably won't find out until after the Spence fight. I just don't want to stake a lot of claim on Terence, the Spence Crawford fight right now. Me personally, I'm a Boots fan now. I think I'm gonna start doing some more Boots content, and I'm sold on this guy. You know, and I've only watched a little bit of his footage, you know, training and some of his fight footage, but I really like Boots. I think Boots, he's like a hybrid of Crawford and Spence put together. He has Spence, you know, Spence size, has Spence power, Spence look, but he has Crawford's type of skill sets, and he moves around the ring almost like Terence Crawford does. But what Terence Crawford doesn't do that he does is he uses hand and foot speed. So you know, he could be some real trouble for either one of those guys. I think Spence's size, he would be able to deal with him a little better than Crawford would, but I think he would still give Spence a whole lot of trouble. So, I mean, it would benefit Crawford, I think, to go after that fight if he could get it. I mean, that's smart. Like I said, you know, I'm surprised a lot more fighters haven't taken that Floyd Mayweather approach and not signing with a promoter, because they stand to make a lot more money. It's harder to make fights for themselves unless they're popular, because they don't have the financial backing to book arenas and stuff. So most of their fights will be like, you know, small venues and stuff like that. But if he was rich, it would be easier for him. If he was Terence Crawford, you know, and this is why I say Terence Crawford, should think about taking that road of just being independent. And he has enough money to put on his own fights and host his own fights and host them in big enough arenas to where his return will be way more than what he invested in the fight. So, I mean, if he put on a Boots Ennis fight and hosted it himself, I mean, I think it would do well. It would be a really good fight, but I think Boots is, like he said, a problem. And I'm not sure if Terence Crawford is. I'm not sure if his skill sets can handle Boots.
Nowadays, everybody in their daddy got the fire spit. Keys spit, what you fight fires with, wet with it.
What's going on, man? How you doing? You know, I want a champion, but realistically, hopefully, I get somebody under that or somebody with a big name, a #1 spot, anything. Yeah, this year, it's my time, and I will be taking over this welterweight division. We'll gladly take that for the #1 spot or for whatever.
Terence Crawford don't got a fight right now.
When you're young and hungry like this, it's hard to be somebody that's young, hungry, talented. It's hard to be somebody that had fun doing what they're doing. I'm not in this for the money. I'm in this because it's all I know. When they know you fighting a guy like that, they're a shot away from me. At the end of the day, it's boxing, and things happen. You always don't get your way. You just gotta be patient. Like with me, I gotta be patient and wait my turn. But once I get my turn, that's it. It's over. I'm gonna be at the top forever.
At the same time, I'm smoking on the talk stop.
All right, y'all. So, based off what I heard in that video, I think he's targeting the Errol Spence fight because it was something that he said that stuck out to me. He said he spoke about that fight that Captain Full G has been speaking about, that he was supposed to fight. I think Ugas was supposed to fight somebody, and then Spence was supposed to have a mandatory with the IBF. And I think he was saying that the mandatory was disqualified or something, and they're talking about elevating him to the mandatory. So it's going to be interesting how all this plays. Caps is calling back now. All right, Caps, I'm glad you called too, man.
Yeah. So I just saw your video, and actually, when I make my next video, that was...
Yes, sir, Louis Keys. My fault, Caps. Louis Keys, rest in peace. That's my big bro, John Britt. I appreciate you. Rest in peace, man. I appreciate you for saying that.
That's right.
Nah. Go ahead, though, Caps.
No, I was saying that video you just sent me was show Boots. That video, actually, I'm going to put on my next video in the front of my next video, because I know that video. That's the one where Blue Blood was like interviewing him. So
he got an exclusive with him, man. I wish I was in another city, man. I can run into some of these fighters.
Yeah, he's from Philly. But you know what? If you really look at Boots, he has the same amount of wins that Errol Spence had. If you put a box record,
that's what I just read off. He's 28-0 with 26 KOs.
Right. He's about the same as the wins with Errol Spence got. He has a long reach like Terence Crawford. They both got a 74 reach.
He does.
Yeah, he has a reach like Crawford. Because Crawford, he's shorter, but he got a longer reach.
Actually, I think it might have said 78, but I think it did. It was in the 70s.
No, 74.
Was it 74?
74 like Crawford.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's, but like I keep saying, everybody's talking about Boots versus Crawford. That's a volunteer. And they know that mandatory is coming up really soon. Like I said, Errol Spence got a lot on his table. He got the Stanionis. I know you're trying to pronounce that new name. It's Stanionis. He's been due for a mandatory, but the only person that could save him is Errol Spence could save himself or Bud Crawford.
Flow sick when I flow quick, better go get your whole click. Spotless who you rolling with. I done told the chick, you don't want have to hold your lip, so hold your lip. Now roll your hips, spotless team, coldest click, roll that shit, blow that shit. Keys that nigga with the gold that spit off the chain, tossing flames, caution dames, let her know. Can't put a chick on a pedestal. Don't think niggas is ready for who it be. Louis Keys, take the chick and bruise her knees. Guarantee you lose to me. Niggas ain't confusing me. Just keep it real with me. I get the bill with me. I'm looking real spiffy. Kicks worth about a bill 60. Back in the day, I used to stay low. They used to pay blunt, I used to say no, but now I'm smoking reefer, and now I'm drinking liquor, and now I'm in the telly, and now I'm taking pictures. We got them millimeters, we got them VHSs, so when we zoom in, you can see they my niggas, what? 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 The ladies, 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 the ladies. Sick with the freestyle, call them the green mile. Getting money for blocks. What y'all think about me now? Gotta keep my head in the clouds. Daddy like gotta make me proud. Y'all on it, pay me later. Gotta get that money now.